NFL rules you didn't know exists. Before we start, I'd like you to hit that red subscriber button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Team. The NFL is without a doubt America's sport of choice, surpassing baseball and basketball. Though the NFL is not without its controversies, you need only a few minutes thinking about CTE on medical websites for health, it is still the premier league for football. Though football seems easy enough to understand, there are some truly weird things going on beneath the surface. We've decided to explore that weirdness by showcasing some of the most bizarre NFL rules ever.
Singletary puts a move on. Fun to watch as he gets
the fair catch kick. Did you know that there are ways to score 3 points at a time other than just a field goal? After receiving a fair catch from either a kickoff or punt, the receiving team can either run a play, which they do 100% of the time, or opt for a fair catch kick. A fair catch kick is a free kick that occurs in place of the beginning of a drive. The last successful fair catch kick ever done was in 1976. End zone celebrations. Okay, so this rule isn't so much bizarre as it is downright terrible. Rather than nurse a fan base to the fun game that is football, complete with its entertaining celebrations, the NFL bans anything that they consider to be crossing the line. The problem with this rule isn't just its application, but also its interpretation. The officials get to decide what is defined as crossing the line. At Lambeau Field, the Packers are allowed to do a Lambeau leap. At any other stadium, they'd get penalized for doing the leap. Arbitrary garbage, to be honest. Out of bounds kicks. The play was recently put under spotlight by Green Bay Packers utility man Ty Montgomery. On a kickoff, not punt, a receiving player can step out of bounds and touch the ball in order to advance it to the 40-yard line. Why? Because if the player touches it while it's out of bounds, the ball is technically out of bounds as well. Cheap, huh? Don't look up the medical information to decode the thought process required for this rule to even exist in the first place.
again off his back foot, and look who he's got. Fitzgerald sliding and grabbing it, popping up and getting into
illegal leverage. During PATs or field goal attempts, the defensive side of the ball isn't allowed to push or pull one another. The reason being is that this would give the defense too much leverage. Violating this rule results in a 15-yard penalty and a head scratch from the audience back home. You're gonna need Primo coffee service to catch every time this rule is violated on a given Sunday though. The drop kick. Did you know that a quarterback is allowed to advance the ball down the field via dropping it on the ground and kicking it off the bounce? When the NFL had rounder footballs back in the 50s and 60s, this rugby-style move was actually kinda common. The last time it happened though, it was in 2005 by Doug Flutie. Out-of-bounds coverage. When a team punts away the football, their defense needs to rush downfield to corral the returner. If any of the kicking team's players voluntarily go out of bounds, it's an instant 15-yard penalty, even if they stay out of the play. This is so that teams don't try to get an advantage by racing up the field out of bounds. This one actually makes some sense. Back-to-back timeouts. No matter how bad your coach is, your team will never be allowed to call timeouts within a single period of a dead ball's action. If a coach attempts to call 2 timeouts in a row, his team will be penalized 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. I guess not knowing the rules is pretty unsportsmanlike, to be fair. Free kick returns. On the kickoff, the kicking team can try to kick the ball by touching it before the opposing team. However, after the ball has been touched, the returning team can still make a play without worrying about anything. That is to say, the return team can't turn the ball over after it has been touched by the other side, even if they fumble it. Try to work that one out and you'll be calling a nurse for your own personal mental health checks. Automatic coin toss loss. At the beginning of the game and at the beginning of the overtime period, there is a coin toss. If one team does not get their players on the field fast enough to observe the coin toss, then they automatically are rendered losers to the toss. Why this rule exists is anyone's guess. What teams really weren't showing up for their toss?
47 field, something that has really lacked in this Bills offense. Singletary breaking free initially.
Palpably unfair act. Imagine that your favorite team is about to score a touchdown. The running back is sprinting down the field alone when a coach from the other team runs onto the field and tackles them. This would be considered a palpably unfair act. The rulebook is used to stop this essentially. Cheating from In the rulebook, this rule is used to stop what is essentially cheating from happening. The refs have to all agree for the rule to be called. Look at Mike Tomlin stopping Jacoby Jones from a touchdown return for the closest real example that we can come up with of this. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, why not watch the 2 videos that are currently on your screen? I'm sure you'll enjoy them. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.